All right, guys. B'siyata dishmaya. We are here in a hut that tomorrow night will become a sukkah. And we're at Shari Yichud, Baruch Hashem, in Tzfat Yer HaKodesh. Tuesday night Chabura, B'yam Darkecha. Kadosh Baruch Hu blessed us to come together on a Tuesday night before this amazing Chag, this beautiful Chag, Zman Simchatenu, the time of our joy, the wellspring of joy that every single Jew can tap into this time to bring down more and more joy for their whole entire year, to bring it into every facet of their life and every extremity and every part of their being. And tonight we're going to be learning how to do that by way of the teachings of the B'yam Darkecha, the Rashash, the Arizal, the Baal Shem Tov, Rav Shimon Morgenstern, on how to bring all of the work of the Lulav and the shaking of the Lulav into your heart, and to make it real, and to make real acquisitions for the whole entire year, to be successful in the war of Hashem, the war of Hashem that we're all in right now. We're all on the front lines in Am Yisrael. We're all farting. We do that too, but we're all fighting for our lives. And we see that we have to be b'simcha. Just sitting in half of a sukkah already makes you laugh more. Baruch Hashem. We have to stay loyal to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and that's the war. The war that we're in right now is fighting for our lives spiritually, to stay connected in such a crazy world. And we know that one of the signs is how do you know who's victorious in battle? When they come out with their sword lifted up, right? So we've been through the days of Din and judgment, and here we are coming up to the Sukkah with our swords, with our Lulav risen. We made it through the Din. We're ready to continue another year, another cycle of Avodat Hashem with HaKadosh Baruch Hu at a more deep, intense level. And Be'ezrat Hashem Yitbarach, that's what we're going to be focusing on. And in order to get into this, we're going to start right now. What is the pnimiyut of the mitzvah of the Lulav? Yesh lavin v'lashli v'lalev. We have to understand and bring it to the heart. What is the mahut? What is the essence of the mitzvah of the four minim, the four species? And why do we shake them again and again and again and again? Chazal amru b'Gemara. Chazal say in Masechet Sukkah, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, Molich u'mevi lemi she'arba ruchot shelo. You pull out and you bring to he who the four winds are his. Ma'aleh u'morid lemi she'hashamayim va'aretz shelo. Elevate and bring down to he who the heaven and the earth are his. Right? Essentially, what are we doing? We're taking our lulav and our etrog and the four minim, and we molich, we lead out, and we bring to he who the winds are his, the four winds are his. And then we elevate and we bring down to he who the heaven and the earth are his. B'ma'rava matanu achi. Amar Rabbi Chama bar Ukba, Amar Rabbi Yosef beRabbi Chanina, molich u'mevi kedei la'atzor ruchot ra'ot. Another opinion in the Gemara from a different school of thought. Molich u'mevi, you bring out and you bring back in order to stop negative ruchot, negative spirits, negative wind, negative energies in the world.
What was that representative that you said that?
It's b'ma'rava matnu achi. In the West we learn like this. Amar Rabbi Chama. Rabbi Chama said it. Rabbi Chama bar Ukba, and he said it in the name of Rabbi Yosef beRabbi Chanina, who brought it from Rabbi Chanina. So that's the source of that saying. Right? And then he says, so we bring it out and back and forth for stopping negative spirits. Ma'aleh u'morid kedei la'atzor talalim ra'im. And you elevate and you bring down to stop negative dew. Okay, one's going on the winds, one's going on the dew, on the rain, right? The water that's coming up and down from the earth and the skies. So we have to understand, what is this olacha ve'ava'a? What is this walking out and bringing in to he who everything belongs to him? What does it mean for us? And we also have to ask the question, what are these winds, these ruchot, and what are these talalim, and what are these dews, these rains? What negative spirits, what negative wind, what negative rain, what are we talking about here? And why do I have to do it so much throughout 7 days? Do I have to shake this thing again and again and again and again, twice during Shacharit? And throughout the day you can do it. What's the whole Indian? And we also have to understand, how is it that a lulav can stop these things from happening? So what's the pnimiyut of the mitzvah of lulav? Lekabel dat, to receive dat. In the Arizal's writings, it's understood that Sukkot is connected to dat, to the sphere of dat. And that's where we receive our dat. Every holiday is connected to a different sphera, which it becomes a wellspring to download those energies of that specific sphera. Sukkot is dat. Dat, what is dat? The job of dat is to connect between the intellect of a person to his emotions and his actions. It is the vehicle that takes what you know in your head, brings it into your heart, which will lead you to do actions. On Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur and all of the days of Tshuva, we received moach v'sechel chadash ba'avodah. A new brain, a new way of looking at things, a deeper understanding of Hashem. 355 days of completion of connection to Hashem brings us to a higher place intellectually and what we understand of the spiritual system, right? We merited, each one of us, to a different level of godly revelations, to a higher level of knowledge, more clarity, right, in the reality of Hashem and the oneness in life, meaning how He's up and how He's down and left and right and all around, right? Everything is Hashem, and we learned more about that this year. That has nothing to do whether you were successful in keeping mitzvot or not. All of us, every year, are learning more about Hashem and His connection to us. We should be, at least, right? And now on Chag Sukkot, we need to take all of that, what we know in our head, and we have to connect it to our heart, so that we'll be able to feel it in the emotions that we have in our heart. Meaning, the knowledge that I have, the emunah that I know Hashem is there, so I'm okay, I should feel that in my flesh. Right? I shouldn't feel scared when I walk through an alley if I know HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with me. If I feel that fear, it's legitimate, but it just means that there's a little bit of a lack in knowledge of what here. Because if I was certain of Hashem's presence, I wouldn't feel fear of an external thing, right?
Daniel in the lion's den.
Exactly. All the tzaddikim, right? When they saw dangers, it didn't bother them. Why? They're a strong God consciousness, right? So the whole job is to make that connection, so that we'll be able to feel it. And our actions, right, that will be affected then by what I know. If I know Hashem is with me and Hashem sends me everything, so then the person annoying me I don't have a reason to scream at him or to get upset at him. It's not him. He doesn't even exist in the grand scheme of things, neither do I. It's all just energies of Hashem. So what's going on? I'm going to scream at him right now? Or do I go inside and I have a conversation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu about the situation and how uncomfortable it made me feel? Right? If you have strong emunah, you don't act out against that person, you don't raise your voice, you don't scream at them, you don't do things against them, right? You go with Hashem. But the problem starts when we're not able to connect what we know. And we all know this. We all know the truth. The problem that we have is not the knowledge. We're all keeping Torah and mitzvot. We know Hashem is the truth. We know that the Torah is the ultimate truth. We know that we're responsible for our actions. Sorry guys, we're in a war zone, right? And we know what the situation is. With that said, we don't always act according to what we know. Why? Because there's a problem in the bridge, right? There's a problem in the bridge between the head and the heart. So how do we do this mainly throughout the year? The number one time to build this bridge, which that bridge is called Dat, Kabbalistically, is in Sukkot by way of the 4 species. Because when we shake the 4 species, we're asking and arousing that Hashem should bring down Shefa upon us of Dat, which is the ability to be successful in feeling practically the reality of Hashem, that He's here with me in the world. And I'll be so successful in living out Hashem until this knowledge spreads out over my whole entire body, that by way of it, these emotions will cause me to have better midot. They will cause me to help. They will cause me to have mercy. They will cause me to help people. They will cause me to bite my tongue and not say what I think I need to say that might hurt another person. All these things, right? Because the bridge is there. The bridge is flowing. Now there's proper transmission of information from the brain down to the heart, which translates to the liver, which is my hands and my feet moving and my mouth moving in this world, right? That's the goal, that we'll have complete alignment with what I know will reach down to my actions. And this is olacha uva'a lemisha kol shelo. This is what it means to lelechet, to go out, olacha, ve'ba'a, and to come to he who everything is his. Meaning to drill down within a feeling, with an emotion, that everything is Hashem. Hashem is doing everything. Ve'enod milvado. There's no other reality besides that. It's Hashem behind everything. And by way of that, we stop negative dew. What does that mean, negative dew, negative rain? That's all different types of heresy and apikosut and all these different problems that I can find in the Torah in my life, and not believing in the Hashgacha of Hashem, not believing that Hashem is involved in everything. Again, apikoros doesn't necessarily mean that you don't believe in God. When you're already a Torah-keeping Jew, apikoros means that thought that comes inside of your head from Amalek that tells you God doesn't care about you in this situation. He's not listening to your prayers. He doesn't want you to do this. You're not important. What you're doing means nothing. If you believe that, that means you're a heretic. You don't believe in the 13 principles of the Torah. Hashem's involved in every single thing that's going on inside of your life, and it's all in order to bring you closer to Him, to do the ultimate good to you. Any thought that's not that is called heresy. For us, right? For us that are holding already in it. So what is these negative dew, this water is wisdom, Torah, right? It's these negative drops that are coming inside your head, telling you all these problems. That's the root of the problem, that you lack emunah. And stopping them is by way of grasping the feeling of emunah and yichud in your life. When you can feel emunah, when you live emunah, where it's not just in your head, it connects to your flesh, you get goosebumps when you hear a shofar, you put on tefillin, you feel like you're getting a hug from Hashem. The talit is a whole entire different universe when it's over your head. Those things are not just in your imagination. Your imagination is the tool to help you to experience how real they are. That's where we're trying to get at. Therefore, you have to take the lulav, you have to take the etrog, you have to shake them. You have to shake the tree. And you have to have intention in your heart to ask from Hashem, Ten lanu da'at, give us, what do we want? Which tree are we trying to shake? It's a da'at. Knowledge. The knowledge, we want to have connection, we want it all to be connected. Meaning, give me the ability to be successful, to find and to feel Hashem in every single facet of this world, every single thing that I go through in my life, and to come to dveikut by way of that thing. In every single thing that I'm going through, to find dveikut. This is what every single Jew needs to be in general feeling when he shakes his lulav and his etrog and his adasim and his aravot. To ask from Hashem and to contemplate and to feel, Enod milvado, there's nothing besides Hashem. And from that to merit to go into kirvat Elokim, closeness to Hashem, la'avato, irato, dveikut bo, to love Hashem, to have awe of Hashem, and to be attached to Hashem, to be clinging to Hashem. And these four minim, these four different species, they're obviously a hint to the classic everything that's four, which is Yud Ke Vav Ke, right? The source of all things that are four. Source of everything, really. What are the hadas? The hadas are the Yud. The hadasim are the Yud. The aravot, the willow, the lips, right? The willow leaves, those are the first Hey. The lulav is the Vav, and the etrog, the last Hey. The Yud Ke Vav Ke is always teaching us about the oneness of Hashem and the unity of Hashem in everything. That Hashem does everything. He's the only true reality. He is Havaya, He is existence, He is experience, He is everything that we know. Everything exists only from Him. So when a Jew is holding the four minim, which are a hint to the Yud Ke Vav Ke, which is the knowledge that everything comes from Hashem and everything Hashem is doing, then you're able to receive that and to feel in every single thing in your reality the oneness of Hashem that is being revealed there. So what is the shaking? Now we understand holding a lulav and etrog, right? What is the shaking? What does it mean? Bringing it into us and feeling this in our emotions. The way to have this kavanah practically is like this. Now we're going to get to technicals, right? When a person brings it out, right? Molich, that's called olacha. When you walk it out away from you, then you're asking, Yoshev b'maromim, from He who sits up in the heavens, shiftach lanu otzar hadat hagvoa. Open up for us the treasure of higher dot, higher consciousness. It's a request. Essentially, when you pull out the lulav away from your chest, you're making a request of Hashem, give me dot from a high place. And when a person now returns and brings the lulav back into their heart, right, and you have the Hasidic minhag to give a tap on the heart, to drill it in, right? When you bring it back, that's called umevi. There you have intention to receive and to bring this dot into your emotions and to arouse them and to renew them. New fresh slate in your love for Hashem, for the Torah, for the people around you. New level of relationship of respect, of awe, of submission to the other, right? Of making the other more important than me. Renewing all of that. And you want to add more and more dot of Hashem, and then you will add more love, more respect, more harmony. All that will come when you have more dot, when you have more connection. We shake them to all of the different directions. They are all of the different parts that make up reality. Because when I shake the lulav, this dot starts to spread out in me. What is it? Ledat she'enon milvado, to know that there's nothing besides Hashem, blessed be He. And this is true for every direction in my life, for every ruach, for every spirit, for every cardinal direction, every wind that I could have in my life. It's true. And it starts to spread out, this wind, and it's being revealed in every single facet, every direction I could turn in life, meaning the whole entire world and all of the different ideas that go through my life. And then we shake it again and again and again, 3 times in every direction. Also a few times in Hallel we shake, because we have to drill it into our heart very, very well, this consciousness, this dot. And from that we have to strengthen our heart and our emotions and the reality of Hashem. Because by way of taking your time, right? And every Jew should take their time when it comes to shaking the lulav. If you can't do it with your minyan, that's why we have a practice to go before shacharit and to go shake it to begin with, before you even start shacharit, to shake it in the sukkah, right? There, take your time, do your shaking, because you might have to stay with your minyan if you're still on the level where you need the minyan, you need to flow with them, right? So you take your time either before or after, and you go through the whole entire process and you take your time to make sure that you hit every direction and you bring it back to your heart. It's a very good thing. That's the main kavanah, that's the main mitzvah. And you go again through all of these kavanot again and again. And then you merit to feel it more and more and more. This true dot, enod min vado, and to bring it in deeper and deeper until it affects all of your emotions and your actions. And after the feeling, we have to now bring it into our actions. The Arizal writes there that when a person brings back the lulav, he should make a small tap on his chest, across from his heart. And you have intention that tap of your fist with the lulav and the etrog back on your chest is to drill this into your body, to bring it into your body. It's from the Arizal. Meaning, when you bring it back, you have intention now to receive the dot that should affect your emotions. You add additional attention by way of hitting your body that this dot and this emotion should be so strong that they should become an action. It shouldn't just stay inside of me. It should be so strong that it has to go out and it has to come out in an action. So when you're bringing back the lulav to you, you have intention to drill it into you and to bring this mochin, this new mochin that you're getting, this new dot inside of you. Until this dot arouses my emotions, the love, the awe, the dveikut, and the rest of them, my netzach, my hod, my yesod, and they will go out in a complete revelation until I really feel them in all of their strength. And afterwards, I have to go deeper and deeper and feel more. This dots in such clarity till it's a complete feeling that I can feel, that I've received now, an emotion that I own, that's mine. And also my actions are now going to be aligned with that dot and with this emotion. Every day has its own avodah that you have to do. Again, let's summarize what we just said. When we take it out, right, what are we doing? We are making a request from Hashem. Hashem, open up the treasures of higher dot. Give me the ability to connect what I know to be true to my emotions and to my actions. That's when I'm pulling my lulav away from me. Okay? It's a request. And we haven't got into it, obviously, but there's different directions that represent different sfirot and everything. We're going to get there. Then when I bring it back, I am now receiving what I just requested and drilling it into me. I receive by way of just moving my arms with the lulav and the milim back towards me. And the Arizal says, add a hit onto your heart so that these emotions, this dat will drill into you. Your mochin will influence your emotions, your midot, which will affect your actions. What is that hinted to by? The hit. That actual hit on your chest is saying, Hashem, I want this to be so real into me that it makes me do something. I feel it on my flesh. It's an emotion, right? And we have to do this in every direction. So now we've explained that we receive dat, and this dat arouses our emotions. But, safe travels. Zat Hashem. Shebechol yom, every day we have a different midah that we're working on. There's a different midah that's special for that day. Because on Chag Sukkot, there's 7 days, and they are corresponding to the 7 sfirot that make up the midot, the traits, from Chesed down to Malchut. And every single day of the Chag, we receive the Shef of Dat from Hashem Yitbarach that is specifically aligned with that midah of the 7 midot. In a way that on the first day we receive the Dat, which is this godly comprehension of the truth, the true unity of Hashem. And this Dat affects us in a very particular way every single day to arouse and to drill inside of our heart the light of that specific sphere of that day. And we already did this. You could ask from the 10 days of Tshuva, right, from Rosh Hashanah there. That's what's called the achor. That was in the backside, meaning that was from a place of fear. Now it's coming from a place of love. Now it's coming from a more internalized way, a more sweeter way, a more loving way, right? So yes, we already did it, and at that time it was very special. But now when it comes to relativity, in Kabbalah we're in a much higher place. We've been through a Rosh Hashanah, we've been through 10 days of Tshuva, we've been through a Yom Kippur. We're in a higher place, and now the work that we're about to do again is coming from a different place as well. Every single sphira has a different way that it affects the heart, a different way that the heart has to make an approach to it. And every day we're arousing a different sphere, like we said. On the first day of Chag Sukkot, right, Wednesday night and Thursday, we will be working on chesed. And the idea of chesed is love. On the second day, we will be working on gvura. The idea of gvura is ira, seeing Hashem in everything, having awe of that, respecting Hashem, following Torah, keeping halacha, right? The awe of Hashem that is expressed on two main levels. One is fear of punishment, and the other is fear of going against such a loving and amazing and awesome being. The higher level is obviously having awe of Hashem and not of yourself getting punished, right? But you need that. If you don't care about yourself enough to not get punished, then how are you going to say you really respect Hashem? Right? How do you get there if you don't even respect yourself? Then we get to the third day, which is Tiferet. Tiferet is aligned with the work of Dvekut, attachment to Hashem. And then we get to the fourth day, which is Netzach. The idea of Netzach is Nitzachon Vakshanut, perseverance, dominance, victory, not giving up, fighting the war, staying loyal to Hashem, not letting them beat us. Hey, the fifth day is Hod, and the idea there is recognition and admission and gratitude to the truth, the inner truth. The sixth day is Yesod, which is connection, itkashrut, connecting everything in my reality back to Hashem, back to the Creator. Seventh day is Malchut, and the idea there is Kabbalat Ol ve'emunah, taking upon myself the yoke of the kingship of Hashem, meaning I have to follow Torah whether I feel like it or not, and the work of emunah. Every single day you have to work hard inside your soul in order to acquire the midah that has to do with it, and to bring passion inside of your body and inside of your being more and more and more for that specific light. Right? And this is from the power of the light of the Chag of Sukkot, from the power of Dat, of the true yichud of Hashem, the true unity of Hashem. Included in this is to pray for this, and to do actions that are aligned with that, right? And also to distance yourself from any things that could be opposed to that midah, in order to really acquire it and to become a vehicle of expression for that midah. Right? There's also yichudim that you can do. You take the name with the nikud of where it is, Yud Kei Vav Kei, with that specific nikud. You go through the day contemplating on that nikud, on that name of Hashem. That's aligned with that sphere. It's a good yichud to do throughout the whole entire day for that day, because you're tapping into that energy. Right? You form in your head Yud Kei Vav Kei with the proper nikud that needs to go with it. And the more that you do these yichudim, you strengthen yourself in that midah in that way. And you also pray for it. The day, for example, first day of Sukkot, you need to pray for more love in your life, to feel the love of Hashem, to feel love for Hashem, to love the Torah, to feel the love of the Torah towards you, to love every Jew, to feel their love towards you. You have to pray for that. You have to do chesed for it. Physically, you have to go and give tzedakah. You have to do chesed for another person. Let someone borrow your lulav that doesn't have. Give someone a meal. All these things, right? On the first day, you have to be busy with the idea of the day. What's the idea of the day? Find out the sphira, right? It's either chesed, gvura, tiferet, netzach, hod, yesod, or malchut. And on that day, you do what those things are, and we just explained what they are. So every single day, when you come to shake the lulav, achat she'ish taim, it's one that's two. One is, I'm trying to get a new dot. To merit to download more recognition of the reality of Hashem in order to feel it tangibly, to live it. This knowledge of Hashem should be alive inside of me, should be part of my senses. And two, what's the second thing? I want to bring this dot down inside of me and to arouse inside of me by way of the power of the dot, the midah of that day, and to serve Hashem and to acquire Hashem and to make a true acquisition of this consciousness and feel it by way of that midah. Therefore, we go again and we shake every single day, and every time we have to arouse it and we have to feel this new shefa of the dot again on a deeper sense, to go and to drill it deeper and deeper, this dot, and according to the midah, to bring every single midah inside my heart, to make a true, proper acquisition of it with a fiery passion inside when I'm doing it.
So it's always das.
It's always dot, exactly, but dot brought down into my heart by way of love, fear, harmony, right? Perseverance, submission, connection, action, emunah. Every single way I need to bring, because again, what is that? What I know, the bridge is the dot that brings it to my heart, which is my emotions, which will affect and influence my actions. So when I need to express love or limit my love or have mercy, I need to have dot to do that. I need to know and have a clear bridge of how much love am I meant to give in this situation. How much am I meant to hold back right now in this situation? Or in my avodah, is now a time of chesed of Hashem, meaning I should be running and like, Hashem, let me ask for this and this, and let me do this avodah, and let me run to this tzaddik, and because everything's going for you? Or is it right now, like, no, Hashem's asking for you to sit down and focus on this one page right now, and not to go crazy. Sit down and get through this. Yeah, you also have to know how Hashem is leading you through life. So the dot is what's going to allow you to understand and detect all these places, and to have a clear transmission from your head, through your heart, to your actions. For example, on the first day, you have intention that the dot should arouse your midah of ahava. And you go along in your shaking of the lulav, and you feel, and when you go out, you request to merit a dot and to feel the yichud of Hashem in your love. And from that, I want to merit to love and to go into a new, deeper feeling of love with Hashem, with the Torah, with Am Yisrael, with all of my heart. Right? And so on and so forth. Every day has its way. So now, why do we turn to 6 different directions, though? Every time we do it, we go to 4 different directions, and we do up and down. Right? So it's 6 in total. These are the 6 midot. This is the idea. Right is chesed. Okay, again, Ashkenazim go right, left, right? Like just in front of them, but they're looking at us. Sephardim, we mamash turn around. It's right, left, southwest is northwest, east, south, right, for us. But it's the same idea. Right is when you turn to the right, right? And so on and so forth. So right is chesed, left is gvura, east is tiferet, up is netzach, down is hod, and west is yesod. And the middle point that you're always coming back is malchut. Again, quickly, right is chesed, left is gvura, east is tiferet, up is netzach, down is hod, west is yesod, and the middle point that you're always pulling to is malchut. And now you have to ask the question, supposedly, It needs to be that every single day I should only be doing to that one side. If today is the day of chesed, so why am I not just going to the right the whole time and drilling in the dot only to the right if it's all about love? The explanation is, in a very fine way, every single midah is made up of the other midot as well. Right? There's 10 sides to chesed. Chesed itself has 10
sfirot. We
sfirot.
go through in the counting of the Omer.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. For example, chesed itself has all of the other 7 midot. You have chesed shebechesed, like you just said from the Omer, right? Gvura shebechesed, tiferet shebechesed, netzach shebechesed, hod shebechesed, yesod, malchut shebechesed. You have all of this. There's another thing here you have to understand. What are sfirot, right? To understand what's really going on and what are sfirot. Maybe that's for another time. Maybe we can do that during the Chag, an explanation of what is sfirot and how does the sfirot, the tree of life, influence every single decision and action you make from Keter to Malchut. He explains it here in the footnote. But let's keep going because the Sukkot thing is more important right now. When it comes to this, we shake to every single way because we need to go to all of these directions in order to acquire these midot in a way that they include everything that they're made up of, right? If Gvura is the left side, so on a day of Chesed, it's not enough for me just to go to Chesed. I need the Gvura Shebechesed as well, so I have to go to the left side as well, right? And that's why we shake in all these directions. But obviously it's understood that the main avodah and the main intention you have to have is of that specific day. Therefore, whoever gets confused by these things, it's better that you just focus on the main midah, ahava, chesed, gvura of that day, right? If it's too much for you to have, okay, right now I'm turning right, so that means chesed shebechesed. Now I'm going to go left, that's gvura shebechesed. If that's going to be too much for you, be real with yourself and just say, today's the day of chesed. Every time I put this out, I'm asking for more connection and knowledge in my love. And I'm receiving, and now I'm bringing it back to my chest, I'm receiving more connection, more dat by way of love into me. And I'm drilling it in, I'm making it real. And that's how we have to make progress through it. Right? When you know it well, you can do it again and again, and you drill it into yourself, and you understand these things. And it's enough that you know the general midah, and then it will go in by itself. You have intention to connect your mind to the tzaddikim, to the proper intentions, and it'll all come down. And the kavanat alev, where are you putting your heart mainly? Only on that general midah, because that's the main thing. And the other 7 midot apratiyot, the more finer midot, enan ele pratim b'itgalut ba'ofen kniyata. It's only just revelation in the way that it's being absorbed and acquired. Right? It's just that inside of the general principle, you do have all of the finer details as well. And every day, the minhag of the Arizal is to shake 5 times. So what is each idea? And the first time, when we do the blessing of the Lulav, then we're getting the first feeling of the dat. That there's consciousness of Hashem. Hashem is real. Hashem is real. It's the first time I do it. And then, since I connected that so much in my emotions, now I have an arousal of love. Well, and then ira and dveikut and everything will follow. And after that, then we shake in lulav, in hallel, sorry. And that's a higher level, because there the intellect starts to come deeper inside into my emotion. Like that, these emotions, they start to come with a sense of intellect, of understanding, of deeper spirituality. I understand things much better, not just an emotion that I feel. I actually understand why the emotion and what I'm being called to do with it. And that comes from a contemplation on the words of Hallel, that you recognize and you see the oneness of Hashem, She'ein milvado, how David HaMelech was at a war and Hashem was there for him, and how everything was going crazy for Am Yisrael, but the mountains started to dance, and the sea ran back, and all these crazy things that are going on, right? In the grand scheme of things, you start to see from the words of Hallel, wow, Hashem is so amazing. So now you connect from a way, way deeper place. And then, in Hallel, we shake it 4 times, according to the 4 different mochin that a person has, which is...
Do these connect to the visitors of the sukkah?
Of course. Chesed, exact same. Yeah. Abraham, Ish, Chesed, Yitzchak was Gvura. Yeah, definitely.
So is adding flowers to the sukkah, bringing keter to the sukkah, because you're utilizing like hadoma, because it's coming from the ground, and like
That is essentially the same
adding flowers
connection
to
of Keter Chochma Bina. It's brought down by Dat. Dat is the continuation. It's along the middle path, right? So now in Hallel we shake it 4 times, and these are according to the four mochin that a person has. What is it? Chochma, Bina, and Dat. And Dat is always split into 2, which is Chesed and Gvurot, Chasadim and Gvurot, right? But always we have to remember that if a person feels that he's getting confused by this, do not go into the details. Grasp the main idea and feel it again and again and again, that you are connected to Hashem with love from a place of recognition and the oneness of Hashem, that He's everything and there's nothing besides Him, right? Don't get stuck into the finer details. If you get confused by these kavanot, you have to just tap in to the main energy of the day. And then we take akafot, right? The last thing we do with our lulav is akafot. We surround each day the bima and we sing different songs and we're doing deep things and we shake around, going around, right? Hoshiana, Ana Hashem, Hoshiana. What's the idea of akafot? After we shake in Hallel, we start to surround the bima with these 4 minim and a Sefer Torah. The inner idea of akafa is after we received in the nanuim, the or pnimi, the inner light. Again, we skipped this chapter, we went straight to this, but essentially the sukkah, and we'll have a class during Sukkot about this, but the sukkah is the surrounding lights. It's the makif. It's the things that are above you that you know exist, but you don't grasp. They're not real. They're not internalized. The lulav is how to make it real and internalized, right? So both you're downloading dat. Here it's dat that's way beyond your head, that you will receive aspirations to work towards, you receive energy and passion, and like we have a connection with a tzaddik. The tzaddik is way above us. He's a human being. We see him doing the same thing we're doing, but we know that he's holding in a different place, right? But it's what's called a makif. What's real is what you can do. So the makif on a pnimis, and the makif of dat is by way of the sukkah. The or pnimi is by way of the lulav. So when it comes to, once we've shaken the lulav and we receive this or pnimi, now we have to receive a new makif. Because every time you internalize something, you get introduced to another higher level, right? We're always just going like that. Makif becomes pnimi, new makif. Makif becomes pnimi, new makif. Keeps going up. Essentially, this is Torah 21 of the Likutei Moharan, which is a Sukkot Torah. Whoever wants to delve into it during the Chag, Torah 21, Kaf Aleph. And it all talks about this progress of going from, the first part, of going from pnimi, makif, and keep going up. So once we've downloaded the lights with shaking of the lulav internally, now we have to bring down a new or makif. What is pnimi and what's makif? Or pnimi, according to the Biyam Darkecha, hu or v'asaga v'avana. Pnimi, again, we're talking about the internal light, is a light of comprehension and understanding that a person understands in his intellect and feels inside of his heart with immense clarity, with a complete acquisition. It's his. He knows what he's going through. He knows what he's doing. And in correspondence to that, on the other side, you have or makif, a surrounding light. That's a comprehension in a level that is much higher, that a person sees and comprehends that it exists, but he hasn't acquired it yet. He's so to say, he's touching it, right? He can reach it, but he can't grab it. He knows, he feels there's a certain light here, but he hasn't really got it, and he hasn't drilled it into him, and he's not there, he's not holding there. You can't find this person there, like, he's not rooted in that place, or in that avodah, or in that understanding. Therefore, after Hashem gives us, in the shaking of the lulav, this comprehension and this feeling inside of our heart, right? Because again, we were arousing emotions. It's not just take out the lulav and say, Hashem, I want to have love. You have to try to arouse love inside of your heart. You have to try to feel that emotion. A proper yichud is the knowledge of what I'm doing, which is asking and receiving. But can I arouse the feeling in my heart? Can I get the full yichud going already, even if it's a little touch of it? Right? So after we've done that, now we start to circle, encompass the bima, which is akafa, Makif, akafa, same word, right? Lahakif, to surround, which is a much higher level that we haven't still brought internalized. We haven't brought in down it. It's around us. This light, this aura is around us and we know it's there, but it's not real. It's not inside my heart. Meaning the work that we have to do is to start to touch the higher level, a higher level of ledat et havaya, to know Hashem, to have a relationship with Hashem. I got this far, so I'm here, I'm holding here, but if I reach my hand up, right, your hands are the only thing that can go higher than your head, right? Why? Because we're meant to have aspirations. We're meant to be able to touch that thing that's above us, even if we can't really get there yet. But by way of me touching it, knowing it's there, believing that it's where I want to go and having the inspiration and doing the work to try to get there, I already have a relationship with it. So it gives me vitality. I have what to look forward to. I have aspirations. All the goals and aspirations we have in life are the idea of makif. And what we really have and what we're really doing, that's the pnimi, right? If we want to take it away necessarily from complete avodat Hashem, right? A person has a certain business and he makes a certain amount of money every month. But he's touching on strategies to how to grow the business, right? So his makif is where he's trying to go. But by way of him aspiring there, he's already, in a certain sense, on the path there. He will get there, statistically in business, right? If it's a reasonable aspiration. Because sometimes we try to reach for makifim that are way above our level, right? But we all have our own personal makif, which is just the level above you, right? It's where you are, plus one. That's the closest makif that you have. That you have to have a relationship with. That you have to be reaching out with. That you have to be touching. That you have to be connected to. This also is connected to our clothing. The idea of the makifim, like we learned about in Shabbat Chabur. And then I feel it. I have a deeper connection, a deeper level of love, a deeper level of awe and dveikut. So on that sphere, on that day, after Hashem gave us in the shaking the lights themselves, straight away, we take our eyes and we lift them up to begin to receive the new level that's way above us. You just gave us inner light. Not enough, I want more. My eyes immediately go back up, I start to surround the bima. Makif, right back into makif mode. Because a Jew always wants to ascend. And the more he ascends, the more he understands that he has to ascend more. He has more avodah to do, it's not enough, and you have to go. And there's many different pratim, right? But there's two main parts of makifim. There's the surrounding, the physical walking around the bima, and then there's also the things that we say in the bima, that when we say while we're doing that. And in the kavanot, it's explained that the actual action of walking around it brings down the makif of dat tachton, the lower level of dat. In dat, you have two ways of things. You have upper dat and lower dat. Upper dat is how Hashem sees the world. Right? God consciousness, meaning God's consciousness, right? The bigger picture always. Understanding that don't get caught up in what was experienced externally. There's a greater dat that's going on here. And then you have dat tachton, which is what we tap into. How the picture looks for us, right? Where there is multiplicity and it does look like that's a real thing and it's not all just Hashem, right? Even though you know it's Hashem and dat, but still, right? There's this differentiation between how dat looks from up down and how dat looks from down up. So when you physically walk around the bima, you're tapping into what's called dat tachton, lower dat. And the speech, the songs that we say and the prayers that we say while we're doing that, that's dat elyon. Dat tachton is the grasp of the world from the side of the kelim, from the vessels, in ideas that we understand as human beings. Dat elyon is the grasp of the world from Hashem's side, so to say. And this is explained in a different way, it says here, but the action of walking around the bima expresses our will to understand in our vessels, in our way, this deeper comprehension. Give it to me in my level that I could understand this deeper idea, and to merit, to recognize, and to feel with more clarity, and to live out the vitality of the Creator. But in the end, all be all, it's a physical action. It's an action of a body, right? And it's limited. that what you can understand, what you could grasp from your perspective, from your experience, how your brain's going to handle it, according to your kelim. But speech, the songs we say, the Hoshana, the screaming out to Hashem, that's from the neshama towards its Father in heaven. And the neshama is yearning from such a lofty place that it's able, and it doesn't want it's able to break free, and it doesn't want any limitations. It just wants to completely understand Ein Sof. Therefore, the or makif that we receive by way of the speech is called Dat Elyon, the higher level of Dat. And in the time of the akafot, you have to feel this. You have to scream to Hashem, Titgalei Elai, reveal yourself to me, because I only want you. I don't want anything else. And that's B'ezrat Hashem, an introduction to a little bit of the Kabbalah that we have behind shaking of the Lulav, and what are the intentions and what can be done by doing this. B'ezrat Hashem, it obviously is something that takes review. This is going up, and there's other classes that I did last year already on these ideas, but there's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, right? We also have the eating of Sukkot every day, the ushpizin, and you have just sitting inside the sukkah every single day. And that light, B'ezrat Hashem, we'll get there during the Chag.
Sleeping in the sukkah.
It's a huge schut.
Because like I would rather sleep in the sukkah and people's sukkah randomly and just throw out a yoga mat than sleep in the bed that I have in my
100%.
So,
The
like,
sweetest sleep of the whole entire year.
I did it in Shalim, so
You're welcome to sleep here, definitely. B'ezrat Hashem. Chag Sameach, guys.